Hello, this is Island of 1,000 Crabs for demo day 15. So, just first thing, and this is just a pet peeve for me because I'm trying to record things. Starting your game off like in the game is not very happy for me because it doesn't help me decide how loud I should make the mixer over here, and it kind of worries me that maybe the game will start playing without me. In this case, that wasn't a problem, but like I open up this and I immediately think, should I have already started recording? Which is not what I want to think. But you know, in the end, I'm not the very most important audience for this sort of thing. So let's start. Essentially, I'm providing this as a service to you, which means not necessarily that you have to like pander to me, right? Um, so I've got a ZXC and a backspace, which is puts things into a queue. Clear gem. Groups must reach checkpoints in order before reaching the goal. Okay, so just reading that as an English speaker, there's two ways to like read that first half of the sentence, and then the line break gives me a different way of reading it, right? So like creeps must reach checkpoints in order, like they have to go in between each checkpoint before reaching their goal, which is what I think the intent was. But it could also have read like creeps must reach checkpoints, comma, in order, or not comma, but pause, in order to reach a goal, right? And the only difference between those is like before and to, which is easy to confuse, right? And I've already lost. Feels bad. So we do not want crabs to get into this gray circle in the center. Okay. So I want to block the crabs. This is a traditional tower defense game. Okay. I can place blocks. Okay, so those are probably blockers. Where did the crabs come from? Try it with your towers before it can steal your coins. Do I have coins? I have the single gray object. Okay, so like all tower defense games, when I place these blocks, that just means that I can't. Okay, so here's my tower. Right? Yeah, that's my tower. So I have to force them to walk a longer distance to get to two. But I also need money to do that, of course. All right. So let's see. I've got a 1 over here. I've got a 2 over here, and I can place things, but I can't know where they're gonna come from until I start the game. So let's just place power at each. See how that goes for me. Okay, so they come up from up here, which means I want them to take a long route to get to 1. Then I want them to take a long route to get to 2, and I really want them not to get to the centerpiece. So, that way I can get them to like kind of go counterclockwise and then have to loop back over here. Place a block here. Place a block here. There you go. No, I just gotta place towers to kill them. So, my immediate impression is that sort of these early levels are not very much fun because the creeps have so much like space to play with, and I don't have that much money to like place defenses to not get them to actually do anything in the world. So I have to do this kind of block off stuff if I want to win at all. And I just have to wait for this guy to actually go through his paces. Like, I know he's gonna die when he hits that tower, but... Is there a speed up button? Okay, spacebar. Okay. How much money do I have? 5 coins. How much does these cost like 15, right? I don't have any money. Um, hmm. Yeah, that sucks. Oh. Woo. I'm just watching the debug text go by. Spacebar. That's right. I've been cheating this whole time and I keep forgetting. Go. Okay, now they come from a different area, and now I have to keep that in mind. Or is that just like single wave? Because there's like a blue thing here. I don't know how different that is from the actual creep spawner up here. Um, find out. Okay, so X is not like a bomb kind of tower. It's just a remove a block. Okay, so I'm supposed to like play pathing puzzles with these guys, which I don't need to do yet. I could just place turrets, and it looks like I'm good. Let's place more turrets. I'm poor. Wait, I have 57 coins, but I can't place the turret? Why? What keeps me from placing a turret if not my 66 coins? Oh, I can only have 8 towers down at a time. Okay. Hmm. Well, I mean, this setup isn't working, so I'll just hit space a bunch. So, in order to actually, like, get anything done when things get hard, I'm gonna have to A, destroy towers and place them in better locations, and B, play pathing puzzles, which I'm not a fan. Like, I'd rather in desktop, like, tower defense games, like, have a setup and then just leave the setup to do its own thing, which usually works for me. So we got this mega crab. What do I do about mega crab? I'm gonna walk by, delete some old towers, put some. Let's blow this guy up and then this one right. Force him to walk. If I can play pathing puzzles, I can just delete this block and then put it back now. So like, there's no way for me to lose if I can just do that to them. I guess it costs me money, but it's not a big deal. And now my initial setup, I've ruined it. That's life. And I'm not calling nearly as many as I did in that initial phase. I can still play pathing puzzles with like a large group though, because they all move at roughly the same speed, and none of them are flyers, so I can't really be punished. Oops, oops. I lose. Alright, so what do I think? Um, Well, it's a tower defense game, right? I'm sure that's what you're going for. You're not really trying anything too fancy with it just yet. That's fine, but I think especially if like you're trying to like shoot for people to play your demo in demo day or like download your game in general, you've got to give them a hook, right? And just the creeps are now crabs is not good enough, right? You gotta build in the crabbiness somehow. Make them make the fact that they're crabs somehow relevant gameplay wise. And I don't know, they can bury into the sand. They can come back up. They can they you know what I there's a video on YouTube that I saw recently, and it was like hermit crabs like trading shells. And so if you had a hermit crab that didn't have a shell, that hermit crab was dead. And so each hermit crab sort of had to like trade shells with one another when they grew, so that way they would get a shell that is roughly their size, and they would get rid of the shell that is too small for them. But now that that shell is vacant, any other crab can come and get it, and that's basically a beneficial trade between the two. Does that make sense? Does that make sense as a gameplay idea? I guess like just make each creep come with a shell, and instead of having them just go to goals, they're trying to collect shells. Oh no, I'm not articulating a good gameplay idea just yet. Well, it's your game. You can decide what you want to do with it.